Welcome everybody. I want to welcome you today to Miracle Mountain Farm. My name is Roger Payne and I'm the owner of this vegetable farm. We do a lot of things here. We grow some vegetables, we have livestock. I became a farmer because I had an interest on just watching things grow and remembered back in the day when my grandfather was a farmer, and I remembered the things that he taught me, and he was one of the most knowledgeable men that I've ever known in my life. And I didn't stay farming as a young man. I spent time in the military and traveled all over the country and got married and had children. And then one day I just decided that I was going to do like my grandfather, because things all over the place were just being crazy. So I started farming, and about 5 years ago we started this farm, and I now don't want to really do anything else. We came up with the idea that to farm and grow things in old tires. We saw that millions and millions of old tires were just being wasted in landfills, and wasn't good for the environment. And so we just started making things grow and found out that we could grow a lot of food in a small place for a lot of hungry people by using these old tires, because the maintenance on them is not difficult. We don't have to plow them. We don't have to dig all through them. We don't have to use shovels or tractors. We use a reciprocating saw, and we just cut the top bead out, take that bead, flip it over, put it in the bottom of the tire. We use our animals to go before us, and the chickens go before us and fertilize. We move their pens, and then behind them come the pigs, and they plow with their noses, and then we set the tires behind them. We work the ground up a little bit, mostly with our hands, and then we plant seeds, plants, or whatever we need to plant. We make sure that we set the tires so that they'll hold a little bit of water. So you can water them, and you can have 1 inch water, 2 inches, whatever you need, clear up to 6 or 7 inches, but we don't need that much. But it helps because tire is an insulator. It's kind of like using it as a greenhouse, which you can. It keeps things warm. It heats up before anything else, and it makes your plants grow better, have the warmth that they need. They're also very easy to maintain because you're not hoeing, which I don't like. You just reach in, pull a few weeds that are around the plant, and move on. What we have here, you can't see them, but they're there. There are 8 tires, and each of those 8 tires has 2 sweet potato plants in it. And they have vine and everywhere. They're beautiful things, and sometimes they get a real pretty little purple flower on them. And the reason for that is these sweet potatoes are purple, and the inside, when you cut them open, will be a deep, beautiful, bright purple. We've never grown them before, so I thought I would give them a try, because we're about trying new things. And that's what I wish that everybody would try, is something new every week, maybe every month. But when you go to farmer's market or wherever you get your produce, you see something you don't know what it is, ask them. And then find out what it is, look on the internet or in a cookbook and find out how to cook that and give it a try. You would be surprised how many wonderful new vegetables there are out there that people are afraid of. It takes a lot of energy to make tomatoes, and towards the end of the season, the plants have enormous amounts of leaves, and they start to dry out, and they start to turn brown. And so what we do is we catch them, we just pull them off. We take them and we break them off, and that way the energy goes toward the tomatoes. And as you can see in the bottom here, these are getting ripe, and most of these, the majority of them, will make it before the cold weather comes, and we'll still have nice juicy tomatoes. And there are several things you can do. You can even take a green tomato like this one and put it in a paper sack, maybe throw a piece of apple in with it or a piece of banana, and just put it on your counter in the kitchen. In a couple of days it'll turn red or yellow or whatever color it's supposed to be. These just happen to be red. There's nothing that can beat fresh food and fresh vegetables. We don't use herbicides or pesticides, chemical fertilizers. We don't use anything like that. We grow everything naturally. We use these pigs, we let them pretty much roam, or we put them in a big pen on green grass or in the bushes or in the woods in an area that we'd like to clear out. And with their noses, they plow everything up. They eat roots, they eat bugs, they eat the vegetation. A lot of people think pigs don't eat grass, but they do. My grandpa was always a very generous man, and he gave a lot to a lot of people, and I never forgot that. And so probably well over half, maybe even more of our crop that we grow every year, we give away to a feeding center or someone that's in need. And my concern now is a healthy community. And I'm not alone. There are a lot of good local farmers who produce as well or maybe even better than we do, and they're out there, and they would be thrilled and happy for you to come and get their product, or just sometimes come and visit. If there's one thing that I can tell you, when you go to buy vegetables, get to know your local farmer. If you get to know your local farmer, it's like knowing your doctor. It is that important for you and for your health. If you get to know your local farmer and get all your produce from local farmers, your family will be happier and healthier. It's just a joy that I remember what my grandpa taught me, and I can take those same things and teach my grandchildren. I think the old boy would be pretty proud of me.